Hello, welcome back.
Hello.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Joseph.
Welcome to the Blackbird Breakfast Club.
That's us.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let all acquaintance be forgot.
Yeah.
We're no longer acquaintance, Jordan.
Oh,
I forgot.
I forgot about that. New Year.
New Year, new us.
New
Same
year,
podcast.
Hope everyone had a good holiday and New Year. And yeah, 2023. Here we are. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Today we wanted to talk about our top 5 favorite albums of 2022.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to talk about today.
We are music enjoyers,
Yes.
I would say.
I would say that.
I have some favorite records this year.
Me too.
From last year now. That's crazy.
Last year.
They're from last year?
No, it is. It's just funny. I just saw so many memes where it was like those people that say, see you next year.
God.
And it's like, anyway.
That one just never ends.
Mm-hmm.
Every year there will be someone, or on New Year's Eve, who will say,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
"Oh, see you next year."
See you next year.
I hate it.
Yeah, you just reminded me of that.
Well, these are our top 5 records from 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Should we start?
Yeah, so
Let's just jump right into it.
we haven't told each other them,
No.
I don't think. Probably, I feel like,
We'll have some similar ones.
Yeah.
We listen to a lot of the same music,
I mean,
but I think
yeah.
that we'll have some differences, if anything, in where we've placed things.
for sure. And yeah, so we'll rank them and we'll share each one.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start. So we'll start at
Number 5.
number 5. 1 being our favorite of the year,
Yeah.
obviously. So we'll start at the last one. So
Jordan, give me your number 5.
number 5. Okay, so this one was kind of hard for me to find the last one because
Number 5 is hard.
Yeah, because I have like the top 4. There was like no brainer for
Right.
me. I knew for sure what I wanted those to be. But top 5 or the 5th one, I like had something else for a second, and then I was like, no, and I remembered.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of an honorary mention
Yes.
to be number 5.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel about this one. It's kind of a surprising one for me, but I feel like it, as a whole, as an album, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's Lizzie McAlpine's. Is that how you say your name?
McAlpine.
McAlpine. 5 Seconds Flat. Her album. I really like it. That was one of those for me that like I've known about her for a while. Kind of followed some of her journey on like TikTok and stuff like that. But I saw that she had released this album with like a movie kind of vibe where each song had like a music video with it and it all ran together, and I watched it and just was very inspired by it, and I just think her songwriting is very, very good. And I feel like as an album, it's a very good album, and it held a place for me.
I love that. Do you have
this
like
year.
a favorite song or anything from it? 'Cause I, just so you know, on all of mine, I have my favorite record and then my favorite song.
Oh,
from
you
that
have your
record.
favorite song too? I didn't do that, but I could easily do that let me just look at it really quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull it up. I feel like the song that kind of got me to like this album and to get into her was All My Ghost. That song's really good. And also the song she does with Phineas, Hate to Be Lame. That one's a very good song.
Yeah, I remember you playing that one a ton.
Yeah, I liked it.
Nice.
So yeah, I also something about me is I have an obsessive personality, which means when I find something I like, I can't get enough of it for a long time, and then I get really sick of it and I like have to take a break or I hate it. But
Right.
a lot of times I just like listen to it every day or love it, or it's
Yeah.
like the same things on repeat.
And I'll tell you, I get sick of it way before you do.
Yep, that is.
We'll get in the car, and the same song will play every time we get in the car.
Yeah, and I
And
feel like
Jordan's loving
my Spotify knows me, and it'll always play me the same songs, and Joseph gets so
and
annoyed.
I'm just like, if I have to hear this song one more time,
I could listen to my favorite song over and over again,
On
multiple
repeat.
times a day.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like back to back, but like if I'm driving one place and then I get there and I feel like I'm in the mood for it again on the way back, I'll do it.
That's crazy to me.
I
I
think-
can't listen to a song more than once in like a week sometimes.
Yeah, I know. And
I'm like, okay, I heard this recently. I can't listen to it again.
that's crazy. All right, what's number 5 for you?
Number 5 is also a bit of a surprising one for me.
Okay.
And this is coming from, I would say that I'm a budding country music fan.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I've discovered in myself this last year. I've for a long time have said that I like any music except for country music. And I think that stands if we're talking about like top 40 radio country.
Pop country.
Cuz
it's kind of the
pop
worst.
country is
No
not
offense.
good. It's
Yes.
I think even country music fans will argue that top 40 country sucks for the most part. But my
I think I know what it is.
fifth favorite record this year, number 5, is "Can I Take My Hounds to Heaven" by Tyler Childers.
Oh.
What do you
I
think?
don't know. I thought you were gonna say that Jason guy. Jason is what's his name?
Yeah, he didn't put out a record this year.
Oh, but he's like
Jason
kind of,
Isbell.
but that's the same
he was
genre.
my intro to like country music.
That's why I thought that's what it
Yes.
was. Okay, sorry. Say the name again.
So the record is "Can I Take My Hounds to Heaven" by
Yes.
Tyler Childers.
I remember you showing me a song.
Yeah.
Off this.
So it is a country record.
Yeah.
Like deep. The light just.
The light moved when you nodded your head.
It's definitely like probably my deepest foray into enjoying country music. And
I love that.
I even contemplated it not being in my top 5 favorite records this year. But it just holds such a special place for me because it's like something new. It's like, what's up? You just looking?
I'm sorry. I'm just making sure everything's working. I was
Everything's
just
working
glancing
great.
around.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to throw you off.
It's like enjoying country music is so new for me. I've started trying to like learn how to be a country music guitar player because I feel like it helps my guitar playing just to be versatile. Songwriting. It's just it's probably my new favorite thing is country music.
I love that.
It also like it reminds me of home. Like it reminds me of where I grew up. 'Cause I grew up like in the Appalachian Mountains, so it just always feels like I'm in the mountains again. Like, but this record specifically is like it's kind of his sober record. Like he
That's cool.
stopped drinking and wrote this record, and specifically, so there's a song on it. It's kind of a strange record too because there's like 3 versions of each song, and I honestly don't know the difference between them.
That's interesting.
Because it's like 7 or 8 songs, but it's like the Hallelujah version, the Jubilee version. There's just a bunch of different ones. But the song Angel Band is just so beautifully written.
Yeah.
It's one of, like, I could just listen to it and just read the lyrics for like an hour.
I love that.
And just keep going through it and just, I don't know, it's just really beautiful. It's about
That's so cool.
it's about universalism. But
yeah,
it's really great. So that's my 5th favorite record this year.
I love that. That's amazing. Okay, I'll go on to my 4th.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna start getting pretty similar. But we haven't
from here we're gonna
seen
get
your notes.
These will be very obvious to you. These
Yeah.
next ones.
I'm ready.
Okay, number 4 is Holly Humberstone's "Can You Afford to Lose Me," which I think it's an EP album kind of vibe.
That's also my number 4.
No way.
So
That's
we'll just share this.
Okay,
moment.
we'll just talk about it together.
Yeah.
So I'll share why it's my favorite, and I'll share my favorite song, and then you do the same.
Great. Yeah.
We also saw her live this year in Brooklyn,
And it was
which,
unbelievable.
if you don't know who Holly Humberstone is, you need to listen to her. If you like
Yes.
girl pop, bedroom pop, what would you call it? Dream pop,
It's-
girly? I don't know.
It's
I
very
love it.
bedroom. It's bedroom pop.
I am obsessed with her. My dad actually told me about her a few years ago before she kind of became super big. But anyway, I feel like within the last year or so, I've really like become obsessed with her music.
Yeah, and you showed her to me.
I did. Also, Maddie Healy of the 1975 works a lot with her and writes on some of her stuff, and so of course that's, if you know,
The
us.
greatest songwriter on the
I
planet.
mean, obviously, yeah. So,
We'll get there though.
yeah. So I mean, it's kind of obvious that we love it. But we saw her when we were in Brooklyn a couple months ago. Just because we happened to be there for a trip, and she was playing. Was it the first night of her tour? I think. It was amazing. It was so fun.
Yes.
We went and it was great. I think my favorite song is, probably Scarlet.
Me too. Yep.
I like. Of course, that song I played. That's one of those songs I overplayed.
Yeah. It was, honestly, for me, it was seeing her live that did it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, I've always sort of made fun of the, like, karaoke live performers before, where it's, like, just one person or a few people, and it's a lot of tracks. But
because when we saw her, she had a drummer, and it was her and a drummer.
But there's
she played
a lot
guitar.
Of artists that will just do like
keys, I guess.
They'll just go up with tracks and maybe sing over it, or they maybe have a guitar player or something.
Yeah.
And it's always come across as really inauthentic to me. But I think something about the way that she does it, where she plays different instruments. If you haven't seen what Holly Humberstone's live setup looks like, it's really cool. So it's like just two risers. So it's her and her little station, where she's got a bunch of sets of keys and guitars and everything. And so she'll do like live looping. She'll sing into a couple of different mics and loop it. And then, her drummer has some triggers. So it feels like she is still fully playing live.
Yeah.
While there's a lot of tracks and a lot of like fullness going on.
Yeah.
So seeing her,
it was fun to see.
Knowing we were going to see her, I dove into the record a lot. And this was also while this record was releasing.
True. Yeah, it just released right before the show, I think. Or right after, I think, actually.
Maybe it was right after.
Because I think a single for this album came out right before we saw her.
Like days before.
But I think the album came out maybe a few weeks or so after.
But it is just such a good, the whole record just feels so good. It's produced so well.
Great songwriting. She's a great songwriter. I don't think there's any skips on it. No, that's
it's
what.
Very, very good.
Honestly, from here on out, all of my albums, all of the albums that I'm going to mention, there are no skips for me. And that's part of why they're my favorite albums, because as a whole, as an album, I think they're from like start to finish, it's amazing. I'm also a big album listener. I'm not really a huge playlist person. I like listening through an album.
Definitely not dirty shuffle people.
Yeah, get out of here.
If you shuffle a record,
oh no, God!
What kind of chaotic energy do you go about your day with? If you just go into something and you just press shuffle,
that stresses me out.
Why is that even an option?
I don't know. I get shuffling on a playlist. That makes sense to me.
Sure,
but not on an album.
But to shuffle a record, just like
stop.
whatever I hear is what I'm gonna hear.
Jail.
Jail for shufflers.
Jail for shufflers.
If you shuffle your records, go eat rocks.
Joseph, what? Why are you so aggressive?
Because they need to know.
Okay. Well, anyway, I mean, to each his own, but yeah, no shuffles for me. Anyway,
that was our collective number 4.
I love that. Also, listen to the song "Sleep Tight" by Holly Humberstone. It's a single. It's my favorite song of hers.
It's so good.
It is so incredible.
It's so good.
She's just to end it, she's an incredible songwriter and just a great pop artist. And if you like those things, I think you'll love this album. So go listen to it. All right. Do you want to give your third?
Yeah. So my third favorite record is Beatopia by Beabadoobee.
That's my second.
That's your second?
Yes, that's really funny.
Okay. So
okay.
I love Beabadoobee.
I know you do. I do too.
This was, as compared to you showing me Holly Humberstone,
Yeah.
I brought Beabadoobee into your life.
Yeah, you did.
And I think you love her now more than I do.
And this record,
Clearly.
I think this record made me love her more than you.
Yeah.
This record specifically, I listened to days on end when it came out. But yeah, you share.
It's such a departure from what she's been doing. Because I discovered her around Space Cadet EP, which was like full grunge.
If you're on TikTok or have been for a few years, you know
the coffee song.
Make a cup of coffee for your head.
That was like the OG
so that's her
trending song.
But that is like probably my least favorite song of hers. Like she has such better songs than
100%.
that. So if you like that, listen to Beabadoobee, which also a great name for an artist.
100%.
She's amazing.
Yes.
Love her.
She's incredible. The stuff that she does just as an artist, like she did a whole, did she do Beatopia live? What was the live record that she did?
No, Beatopia is the one we're talking about. The Flowers one. What was it?
Fake It Flowers.
Fake It Flowers.
That was her last record.
Okay, that was
also unbelievable. Go watch. She did the whole record cover to cover live on YouTube.
The art direction in that video is everything I want to be as an art director.
She's a crazy good artist.
Yeah.
Beatopia, I think, is probably her most accessible record.
I think it's the best thing she's done so far, personally. Just out of my taste for her stuff. It's so good.
I miss the grunge.
Yeah.
It is
less grungy.
But So my favorite song on the record is 1036, which I think is the second song on the record.
That one's
has
good.
Really grungy guitars.
That's a grunge song, yeah.
Man.
It's great.
That one is another, like, I could put that one on repeat and just listen to it.
I love that.
Just the production on it.
Yeah, it's so good.
The common thread in a lot of these is the hand of the almighty Matty Healy.
It is, because it's his record label, Dirty Hit, that this artist is on.
We're just big fans of...
He works with her a little bit, too. I don't think he worked on this album, though. But
no, I don't think so.
Okay, while we're talking about... So this is my number 2.
Yeah.
It was my second favorite of the year. Ripples is the song that's my favorite.
Yeah,
it's like,
you love that one.
It's so beautiful. It's such a great melody.
The
it's
strings.
Just, oh, and the melody gets me.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love a good melody.
She'll go from doing, like, really grungy songs to doing, like, Disney princess songs.
Yes. I think that's why I like her so much, is because I relate to her songwriting a lot. I feel like you've said before that you feel like I write music in a similar way that she does. And I just feel like I relate to how she writes and melodies that she'll sing sometimes. I'm like, ooh, I just love that. She's big inspo for me. But yeah, that album, it's
super
just
creative.
so
Great
good.
record. Again, there's no skips.
No skips. That's what I was going to say. It's so good.
And there's something on the record for everybody.
Yes.
Like, we're sort of in this sort of genre-less era of pop music.
I love it.
Where, like, it's all pop. Like, it could all fit on a pop playlist with anybody else. But it's so, like, singer-songwriter and then rock, and then there'll be an electronic song. And it's just so across the board, but all of it's really good. So I feel like artists now have more creative freedom over what they're doing and how they want to produce it. And if they have an idea for a song that sounds like My Chemical Romance, they can do it. But then if they also want to put out a country song on the same record, like, they can.
Yeah.
So, and I love that because I just want to listen to all of it.
Yeah, I do love that a lot about, like, the trend of music right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give my number 3 since
That's great. Yeah.
That was your number 3, my number 2. Which I wonder if this is your number 2.
It won't be.
Oh, okay. Rex Orange County, Who Cares?
Yeah. Talk about it.
Okay, so Joseph introduced me to Rex Orange County. I obviously knew of his song that blew up, like, a long time ago. What is it? Loving was easy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I knew of that song, but Joseph, like, introduced this album to me sometime this year, and I just, like, fell in love with it. Again, no skips. I think it's incredibly written. It's just so good. The melodies are insane. He does that, like, run thing, which I usually don't like it when people do runs and stuff. That's usually not my type of music that I typically love to listen to. But his is so, like, it's so effortless and lazy that, like, it's so,
you can
like,
sing along to it really easily.
And it doesn't feel
like
forced.
You're good at it.
Yes, and it doesn't feel, like, inauthentic. I don't know. Anyway, this album is amazing.
Yeah.
There's also been some...
Yeah, this is a good opportunity to talk about.
There's been some controversy around him, which is really upsetting when I found this out, but he had a bunch of, like, sexual assault charges against him a few months ago that came out, and Joseph and I were both shocked and, like, what? And as we looked into it, we started to realize, like, I mean, I feel like you did a lot of the, like, research.
Well, outside of any of the research, the charges have been dropped against him.
Yeah.
So, but there was a weird couple of months there about, like, what do we do? Because we both loved listening to this artist and listening to this record, and it just brings up the topic of separating the art from the artist.
Yeah. Joseph and I talk about this a lot, I feel like.
It's not worth supporting abusers.
Yeah.
Just as a caveat. Like, as a, like, overall, it's not worth art from somebody who is a terrible person.
Right.
Or is actively making other people's lives worse.
Yeah.
Like, Kanye's another example.
Yeah.
Where, like, I was a huge Kanye fan. Like, huge Kanye fan.
Yeah.
And as soon as it started getting weird, which, you know, looking back, it's been weird for a long time.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not worth listening to music from somebody who's anti-Semitic. Like, that's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So don't listen to Kanye anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's not it.
Yeah.
Rex felt different.
Yeah.
Where, like, it was all allegations. It was never anything that was confirmed. And I don't know. I believe in giving people the benefit of a doubt. Obviously, the truth will come to light for whatever situations ensue.
Right.
So, you know, for him, it was like
he took it to court and it got dropped, or it didn't
yes,
even.
It didn't even make it to
That's
court.
right. That's
which
right.
is crazy, especially for the UK.
Mhm.
Like, he had his receipts in a row of like, I didn't. And I'm not saying he's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, clearly he was in situations where something might have happened to
Right.
the point where somebody has accused him of sexual assault,
Yeah.
which is a very serious matter
Yeah.
that should not be taken lightly.
Yeah.
All that to say, I'm very glad those charges got dropped.
Yeah,
and
me
that
too.
his name is at least starting to get cleared.
Because I feel like,
you can listen with less of a guilty conscience.
Because
now.
when all that happened, I just felt weird about listening to his music because it's all I could think about. And then I was like, oh, it's just not the vibe of like, I don't know. I want to just like enjoy this music, but now that's all I'm thinking about. So, anyway, all that to say, it's a great album. Love it a lot. And
it's super good.
I think
I've never heard someone use orchestra samples in the same way.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's like sort of an R&B record. It's sort of a hip hop record.
Yeah.
But it's all with every song. The common thread is samples of orchestras and like movements. It's unbelievable. Do you have a favorite song from the record?
Yeah, I think it's the Window one. What is it? I think that's what it's called. I think it's called Window. Open a Window, featuring Tyler, the Creator.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Love Tyler.
There's so many good songs. Honestly, like the whole record again is just like everyone. But that song, like I just love it. The melody and everything. Great record. That was my number 3, I think.
So that was your number 3.
3, yeah.
So the only one you haven't talked about now is your number 1, right?
Yeah.
Great. So we're on the same page then.
Great.
I've got to talk about my number 2.
Yes. Very curious.
Which this is one of my favorite opportunities is to talk about very little known bands that I've discovered that are some of my absolute favorites. So my number 2 is Underground Complex number 1 by Typhoon.
Oh, yes.
Which
you love Typhoon.
I cannot sing enough praises for the band Typhoon out of Portland, Oregon. I don't even really. It was like a friend of a friend who showed me them in like 2013 when their record White Lighter came out. They're like a 13-piece folk rock.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to describe what their genre is, but it's like it's so cinematic. It's so orchestral. There's a lot of strings. There's a lot of like folk instruments. His voice is super unique, and I've never heard somebody write lyrics in the same way that he writes lyrics for Typhoon. It's so poetic. Like poetry is really important, and imagery is really important. He talks about space a lot. Like space is his sort of analogy for life and the universe, and it's so good. His songwriting is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So they put out a couple of records over the last couple of years, and this one has just hit so right. There's a song called Omni/Impotence that like time changes and big rock guitars and strings, and like it's a perfect like just go on a drive somewhere, go find like a back road to drive down at sunset and roll down your windows and just play this record. And honestly, all of Typhoon's discography is worth it. Yeah. Just going through White Lighter is my favorite record of theirs. I will go back to it multiple times a year because we talked about I don't listen to the record. If I listen to a record, I'm done with it for a while.
Not me. Couldn't be me.
Could not be you. But like all of their discography is worth it, especially talking about records that came out in the last year. This is up there for me as far as the quality of the songs on the record.
It's amazing. All right, number 1.
I'm sure we have a
star
shared
of the
number
show.
1.
Let's say it at the same time.
Are we starting with the artist, or are we starting with the?
Starting with the name of the album.
Name of the album.
All right. Ready?
Being Funny in a Foreign Language by the
1975. Obviously.
It's no secret that we're pretty big 1975 fans.
Yeah. The 1975 released a new album this year, if you don't know. I mean, everyone knows. They also have put on the greatest tour they've ever done.
Unbelievable.
Ever. And let me just say, it's okay if you don't like the 1975. A lot of people are haters, and that's fine. You don't have to like them.
A lot of people jumped in on the first record.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they started getting a little avant-garde
and poppy,
right?
People left,
which is fine.
Which is understandable, but
more for us.
But if you're a fan like us, where you've maybe been on the journey, I have loved them since end of high school, beginning of college. So that was like 2012-ish era, just probably 2013, something like that. From their first record on, like I've loved following their journey, all that. But yeah, this album is so good. I think it's a very mature album for them in a lot of ways. It's I think Matty is just, I think he's the greatest songwriter. He's my favorite songwriter. Like the way he writes songs musically and lyrically is just insane to me, and how he talks about just his views and stuff, I think is really beautiful. And he's very controversial and unhinged at times, but I do love him so much.
Some would call him problematic.
Yeah, it's very problematic.
Which is understandable.
Which is very fair. But anyway, this album is great. My favorite on the record, I think, is Oh Caroline. I always go back to that song. It's so good. It makes me feel good. I just want to dance, you know? What's your favorite one?
I really like Looking for Somebody to Love.
Yes.
The way that song hits, I love songs that are super upbeat, that are about something really dark.
Yeah.
So like, it's worth listening to the song twice.
Yeah.
Because you're going to listen to it the first time and you're going to boogie. And
then you're going to
go back and read the lyrics and understand that it's about school shootings.
Yeah.
And
it changes everything.
Something, I would say what I love most about the 1975 is that they'll write about drugs, they'll write about weed, they'll write about, whatever. But then we'll also have these like incredibly heartfelt social commentary pieces about current events. Like
Love It If We Made It.
Love It If We Made It. Jesus Christ 2005, God Bless America, from the last couple of records, like are incredibly well written essays about society. And Looking for Somebody to Love is just their most recent entry into that category of songs that they do. So it's like musically it feels great, and then it makes you think as well, which I like a lot. I like to think about my music.
Yeah, for sure. The last song on the record is really good too.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on what it's called, but why can't I think of the name of it? Do you know?
When We're Together.
When We Were Together. Thank you. That song's really great.
Yeah.
We got to see them twice on this tour, so I feel like these are funny stories that we should end with. So we were on tour with the band that we work with, in Boston, right?
Yeah, Boston.
And it was the second night of the 1975's tour.
Yes.
And we happened to be 15 minutes down the street from where they were playing at a different arena. So we were at a venue.
We were at a theater.
Yeah, we were at a theater.
And they were playing the arena in Boston.
Yeah. So we looked at...
no, they were playing Fenway Park.
Yeah,
the baseball field.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was like, it wasn't a baseball field, but it was at a baseball field. It was just inside. Anyway.
A great club.
Yeah. So we did the math and timed it out of like our show would end at
we did some sleuthing to figure out like what time their show started, what time our show would end.
Yeah. If
we could get there. So like
we also
both finished up work.
I bought tickets hours before the show, like last minute, spent way too much money for them, but especially for a show that we weren't going to see the whole show of. Like we were going to be late. We knew that. We knew we would miss at least probably like, what do you think? A third of the set we've missed?
Yeah, we definitely missed. Well, we missed the first 6 songs.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it.
It is a lot of it, but it was worth it to us. So it was such a great memory. So we finished up our show. We hopped in a car. We rode over and we made it just in time to see like most of the set. And then we saw them. I saw them again with my friend Caroline in Atlanta.
And then I saw them in Nashville.
Yeah, and it was great. So
it was worth. I would not see a lot of artists on the same tour more than once, and this was definitely worth it.
It was like, if y'all haven't seen, like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have seen videos of it. It's like,
you can see it on YouTube.
It's incredible. They have like the set design is insane. It's almost like a Broadway play in a way, like
really well produced.
Very, very well done. Anyway, it's insane. So
every moment of it is thought through.
Anyway, I could talk for hours about them, but
good.
yeah. So those are our albums.
But that record smacks.
That record does smack. So yeah, those are our favorite albums of this year.
Yep. Nobody asked us, but
nobody asked, but there you go.
There you go.
All right, Joseph. Any shout outs for this week?
Shout out to
anything you're into right now or excited about?
What was I going to say? I had an idea about something, and I can't remember what I was going to say.
Was it your new game you got? Never mind.
Shout out to Wingspan.
Yeah. I got Joseph a game for Christmas as a board game.
This is not a new game.
No.
It's been out for a while.
Yeah. But he's talked about it for years, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy him this game.
Jordan got me a great Christmas present. It's a board game called Wingspan.
It's so fun, guys.
It's about birds.
I'm even like...
And I can't beat Jordan at it.
Yeah.
Jordan's undefeated.
I'm pretty good at it, which is rare for me. I'm usually not good at games, but this one I'm pretty good at.
Really just shout out board games in general.
Yeah.
Just such a good waste of time.
We have done... So the last couple of weeks, we've really taken advantage of being off of work. I go back to work tomorrow, so this week. And so, well... When you listen to this, it will be today.
Yeah.
Today is Sunday, but tomorrow. But I feel like the last couple of weeks we've just been like playing games, reading.
It's been so nice.
Watching shows. Not really watching shows. A little bit here and there. Okay. My shout outs is reading because I'm always reading. But also Emily in Paris. I binged the whole thing in like a weekend. If you know, you know. Great show. All right. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Seriously.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. Happy New Year. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.